Hey everybody, it's Alex. So anyway, I'm just cut into the whole thing that happened on Friday. For those of you who don't know, on Friday there was a mass shooting at a Connecticut elementary school, and about 20 kids died and 6 adults were killed by one crazy gunman. And now, last time this happened, usually when these things happen, that causes, first of all, the families of the people who died, I am very sorry for your loss. I cannot imagine what it's be like to lose someone so suddenly, especially a child, when they go, after you drop them off at school. You couldn't possibly imagine something like that happening. And it just must be so terrible. I am very sorry. Yeah. Alright, now, let's get a little more objective, I guess. Right now, they're talking about the gun laws being revised, and people are like, we're going to need harder gun laws to stop this from happening. Okay, well, let's address that a little bit. First off, you should know Connecticut actually has some of the more strict gun laws than most parts of this country. Assault weapons have actually been banned for the most part. It's just the one he bought was old. It was from the one he got from was from 1993, and so it wasn't really listed on the banned weapons list. So yeah, a little loophole. Anyway, also you need a permit for any handheld weapons to carry or to purchase, so you can't just walk into a store and buy one. So Connecticut's actually more strict than most parts of the country in terms of owning a gun. So keep that in mind when you start yelling about the gun laws. Connecticut's actually better than most places. Second of all, the reasons for having a gun are still there. They're for your protection. You do have the right to defend yourself. And just because all the good people in the world stop having guns because it's illegal, or bad people in the world are still going to try and find a way to get their hands on guns. Like in this case, the shooter actually planned things several days ahead of time. You think if you wanted to, he could easily find some black market gun deal. It's probably not that hard for people who actually try to look. So yeah, I don't think overall the changing the gun laws, making them worse, are going to do anything. Also, some people are like, loosen the gun laws so people can have more. Yeah, because your 6-year-old kid is going to carry a gun to school. That's totally going to happen on a regular basis. Alright, so what do we do to stop these things from happening? Well, it's what the media is not telling us to do because it hurts them. What we need to do is stop making a big deal. Well, it is a big deal, but let's stop trying to publicize the shooter. Stop talking about the victims. You may have noticed when I briefly explain what happens, I have not mentioned the shooter's name or anything about him or her. Because I don't think that's important. It's not important you know the shooter. You don't need to know who that person was. I find it was a he. That would just make it easier. But you don't need to know his name. You don't need to know where he's from. You don't need to know why he's did it. That's what he wants. I'm going to read you a list of names. Alright, Charlotte Bacon, Daniel Barden, Olivia Engel, Josephine Gay, Anna Marquez, Dylan Hockley, Madeline Sue, Catherine Hubbard, Chase Kowalski, Jesse Lewis, James Mattioli, Grace McDonald, Emily Parker, Jack Pinto, Noah Posner, Caroline Previdi, Jessica Ricos, Aviel Richmond, Benjamin Wheeler, Allison Wyatt, Rachel Davino, Don Hartsprung, Anne Murphy, Lauren Russo, Mary Sherlock, and Victoria Soto. Those are the names of the people who died in the shooting. The last 6 were adults. The first 20 were the children. You remember any one of those names, and that is a better name to remember than remembering the shooter's name. You see, when people kill themselves, it's a cry for attention. They want attention. And since the Batman massacre, these people who were planning to originally kill themselves are like, wait a minute, I can get so much more attention by killing a bunch of other people with me. So that's what they're going to do. So by publicizing these events, by talking about them, by focusing on the shooter, you're just increasing the chance of it happening again, because you're showing the shooter's going to get all the attention that he wants by doing these things. So what you have to do is stop focusing on the shooter. Stop focusing on those deaths. Go back and go through that list again. Remember those names, not the name of the shooter. That is not who needs to be remembered right now. Okay, that is not the person who should be remembered. Those are the people who should be remembered. Another thing you can do is start focusing on, this is psychological. Make sure people get help they deserve. If you have a friend, he or she is having trouble with their lives, make sure you are willing to listen to them. Let them know that you are willing to listen to any problems that they have in their lives. Okay? Because people who feel alone are more likely to go out and do something really stupid, and cruel, such as this. Also, psychological help should be available to pretty much anybody, regardless of how much money they have or anything like that. That's how we stop these things from happening, not by making it more strict on who can carry a gun, but by remembering the victims, not the shooters, and by trying to get more psychological help for the people out there, and by listening to others when they are in need of someone. Okay? We are a social society. We are social beings. We cannot always deal with things on our own, and sometimes when we feel like that's the only option, it gets bottled up inside and can cause major problems. So listen to your friends, and if make it clear to your friends you are willing to listen to them, alright, and that can help lessen suicides. It can help loosen massacres, decrease massacres such as this. This is how things are stopped. Okay, if it wasn't a gun, it would have been a knife. Like in China, a guy stabs 22 people, and everyone here is saying, "Oh, if we stop gun laws, if we restrict guns, then this won't happen." Well, tell it to the guy who stabbed 22 kids in China, which isn't being made to American news because, well, I guess this kind of makes sense due to the fact that this shooting happened in America. But face it, restricting gun laws isn't going to help the situation as much as making sure people get help, and by putting as little attention on the shooters as possible. Alright. Again, to the families who lost loved ones, I'm sorry for your loss. And I don't have a quote of the day, I'm sorry. Alright. Peace out.